This is UMAR AHMED for IFL TV in association with MTK Global. I'm at Boxar Gym today, joined by Frank Buglioni. How you doing, Frank?
Yeah, very well, thanks. Doing well yourself?
Yeah, just a bit disappointed about Wednesday night, obviously, England going out the World Cup.
Yeah, we had a good run. We certainly didn't let ourselves down. Thought we had the beating of Croatia. Thought they could have put it away in the first half, you know, but listen, we done well, and like I say, I said it before, if someone had said, well, you're going to get to the semi-finals of the World Cup, you would have said,
you're mental.
Yeah, of course, you would have thought fantastic, especially when you look at the sides that have been in there. But it was a great path we had. Had the potential to kind of get to the final, quite an easy path, and then anything can happen in the final. I don't know if you can get them sort of chances again.
Yeah, I know. Also the penalty sort of voodoo and stuff.
Yeah.
And sort of, there always used to be sort of a negative thing with the national team.
Yeah.
Like they used to be like, oh, it's an international break, can't be bothered with that. I want my club football back. But this whole country was behind them. Yeah. Power of sport. It shows.
Definitely, yeah. And I think obviously the positivity of the side, it rubbed off on the fans, and I think everyone see the potential that team had. I thought Gareth Southgate was fantastic. Great manager, very positive, young, kind of been there and done it before. So no, it was listen, I enjoyed every match. Yeah. The last match,
hard to take.
I was still thinking in the last half an hour he was going to take it, but yeah,
not meant to be.
One of them things.
Anyways, last time I was here, obviously before your fight with Callum Johnson, a lot's happened there. Obviously suffered a first round defeat, didn't go to plan. How have you sort of coped with defeat from since then to now?
I've learned from it. It's the only way you can do it. If you want to do well in this game, defeat is inevitable unless you're an all-time great. And there's very few and far between that have gone all the way in boxing without being defeated. So yeah, it's about how you kind of pick yourself up. You learn from it. You work on your weaknesses. You improve your strengths, and that's what I've done. I've when I went down in that fight, I took an injury to my knee. I let that recover. So after 4 weeks, back in the gym, training hard and working on the weaknesses.
Obviously, you're out on the 28th of July at the O2. If you were fighting Callum Johnson again on the night, what would you do different?
I'd take it into later rounds. I wouldn't be so eager to get it done. The early rounds are his strengths, the later rounds are my strengths, and I played into his hands. It was silly. I mean, I'll still say it. I'll still say I caught him first. I caught him with the right hand over the top, and I kind of rushed in to then catch him again. It was naive and it was foolish. I paid the biggest price, but I'm back, and I'll get this warm-up fight out of the way. I've kind of got a nice 8-rounder against it'll be someone with like a 50-50 record. Go in there, do a number on them, and then there'll be big fights later in the year. So
have you got an opponent confirmed for that?
It's kind of I mean, it's in the balance, but I mean, I'm not going to say because obviously things can change. So I believe I have a guy with a 50-50 record that's he's capable, he's durable, and he can whack a bit. So no, it's a decent opposition. Should it come through, and I'll go in there and, like I say, I'll take care of business, show some improvements that I've made. And people haven't seen the improvements. People in the gym have. Obviously, my training team and the guys that have come and sparred me, they've seen it. But obviously, I haven't shown that since
public.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Do you think sort of people after that loss, people are sort of overlooking you a bit now?
Listen, it makes no difference. It makes no difference. I mean, they can do. I'm sure there's plenty of people that do. I mean, that's the only problem with British sport and especially British boxing. One loss kind of defines a career, or one bad fight, and then kind of people forget about you. But that doesn't matter. That's the way it is. You have to build your way back up.
Yeah.
So as I say, give me 2 more fights and I'll be back in contention.
Yeah. Obviously, I think people within the trade before that Callum Johnson fight knew how dangerous he was.
Of course.
Probably the more casuals didn't.
Yep.
Expecting you to win. But you felt that power. Obviously, he's got a fight. I know it's for the IBF title against Conservative. How do you sort of see his chances in a really tough fight?
Well, when it was first made, I thought that's a tough one. And then I started looking at Beterbiev, and my brother found a clip of him getting dropped in one of his fights. I think it was his 5th fight. Okay. And he got dropped quite heavy with a guy that's not mad. The guy can punch a little bit. His record certainly says he can punch, but he wasn't a physically strong guy like Callum Johnson. He certainly wasn't built to be the puncher. This guy, he was more of a kind of long-limbed and a little bit leaner. Yeah. And he dropped him heavy. I think it was the first round as well. Okay. And Beterbiev was on unsteady legs. It was the end of the first round. He recovered. He come back out and he stopped him in the second round. But he was hurt. So when I see that vulnerability there, anyone can be hurt, and Callum Johnson can certainly punch, and he can certainly finish. I've never really in a boxing round. I know Kamitsky stopped me, but my camp was all over the place, and I just messed up the weight on that one. It was a fight that I probably shouldn't have took. I wasn't 100% for that fight. But aside from that, I've been in with some big punches, been in with some big names, and I haven't really been shaken, and certainly recovered very quickly if I had momentarily been shaken. Whereas with the Callum Johnson fight, he caught me high on top of the head, I couldn't recover. So that shows you that he's certainly got power. He's a very good finisher, and he's got that killer instinct. So anything can happen.
If anyone from this country would do it to beat Conservative, it would be Callum, because he possesses that sort of devastating power.
Do you know what? I think there's certainly, I'd say there's probably three, possibly 4. Obviously, the man we don't know too much about, Yard, would be the 4th. Certainly, there's potential there to win world titles. I think Burton, Callum Johnson, myself, and Yard. Depending if it's the right opponent, and anyone can have their best day, you know. Obviously, you're leaning towards Beterbiev. He's a very, very good fighter. But that being said, Callum Johnson can punch, and Beterbiev can be hurt. We've seen that. So now we know there's vulnerabilities there. I think it's going to be interesting.
So he does bring that IBF title back in, Callum Johnson. Then obviously there's big domestic fights between the likes of you, Yard, Burton, etc. But if there's a world title involved, then of course it goes to a different level.
Yeah, of course. No, that's what we're all hoping for. And from a selfish point of view, I'd love Callum Johnson to win that world title and then defend it against me. But from a non-selfish point of view, for him, I'd love him to win it, because he's come through a lot of adversity. I've known him from the amateurs. He's always seemed like a nice fella. He's very respectful in the build-up. He's humble in the victory as well. So I wish him all the best, and I hope he does it.
Yeah. Okay. Sort of on to you now. As we said, pay-per-view 02 July 28th. So when do you think you can get back in with the mix with the names you mentioned? How many fights do you reckon?
I'll have this fight, and then end of the year.
End of the year.
Anyone that wants it, yeah. Certainly in this country and European, and then I'll be looking at worlds, providing I come through these fights. Looking at worlds up after that.
Have you spoke to Eddie about that, or is he just sort of this fight?
Well, I mean, obviously Eddie's been very, very busy with all the deals.
$1 billion deals and stuff like that.
Exactly. So, and he's got plenty of fighters. So, really, for me, it's all about getting myself back into contention, and then it warrants the chats, and that's the business. I understand the business, and I'm not naive. I know that I've got to get myself back into the mix and show my worth, and then we'll sit down and have those talks.
Now there's another fight at 175 on that bill, Joshua Boatsi v Ricky Summers, obviously.
No, it's not happening now, is it?
What is that being called up?
Yeah. Ricky Summers pulled out, didn't he, with a...
You were sparring Ricky as well, weren't you? To do that? Okay. Yeah. Oh, so okay. Well, I was going to ask about how you think that would go.
I thought it would have been a great fight. I think Boatsi would have been dangerous early. I think had it gone on and Ricky could kind of show his force and exert his fitness and his stamina and his durability, then the longer it would have gone and the more it would have been into Ricky's hands. So it would have been a great fight. But
hopefully it happens down the line.
Yeah, I'm sure.
A lot been going on in your former division as well, at super middleweight. Obviously James DeGale vacated his IBF. a lot. Sort of, there's two camps. There's one saying he's just stuck. He's Gats guy, and there's one camp saying it's a smart move. Sort of, he's coming to the back end of his career. Paydays are needed. The likes of Groves, Callum Smith are there. What's sort of your thinking behind that? And if you were in that position, what would you do?
I mean, I wouldn't have liked to have given up my world title. If I was in that position, I would like to keep the world title and prove that I'm the best. Because those fights are still going to be there. If you're confident in your ability and you're going to come through it, then those fights are still going to be there because you've got the world title. You obviously you call the shots a little bit more, but he's obviously not confident of beating that guy. So he's vacating instead. I think James De Gale's a very good fighter, a very talented fighter, but perhaps he's feeling he's had a long career, he's been in boxing a long time, perhaps he's starting to feel the burn a little bit, and maybe he just wants one more big payday, and there's no qualms with that. I mean, he's got to do what he's got to do.
Yeah, I mean, so you've got Groves, Callum Smith coming up.
Yeah.
We'd love to see the winner sort of fight to go. I don't know. Probably do a stadium here, wouldn't it? Probably sort of like the Emirates. I'm not sure about Wembley, but
I think he probably would do Wembley. I mean,
do you reckon?
Yeah, I think George Groves. I'm leaning towards him against Callum Smith, just through the experience he's been in with superior opposition. He's had a very good run of late. I think he's gelled nicely with his new trainer in McGuigan. So I'm leaning towards George Groves, and then I think George Groves, James De Gale rematch is massive. The build-up will be massive in itself.
Seems like that rivalry is actually genuine.
Yeah, of course.
They don't seem in fake. Yeah,
they don't like it.
More stuff been going on in boxing world. Obviously, the whole thing with Joshua and Wilder negotiations. Loads of offers going on. What sort of your take on that? Do you think both fighters want it? It's just the promoters sort of getting in the way.
Yeah, I mean, I think Joshua and Wilder, they're both big fighters, so it doesn't really matter who they fight. They can probably string it out a little bit longer and sell out arenas and have big paydays a couple of times before they even come to the big fight. So there's obviously that, but I'd love to see that fight. I think it's a real pick-em fight. I think Wilder certainly he's got power to hurt anybody. I think Joshua's probably a little bit more refined, and he's got the power to hurt Wilder as well. So it'll certainly be an interesting one.
We definitely want to see. I think
exactly.
It's being touted for April next year. Maybe. So obviously Joshua's got Povetkin next. And that's a nice opponent.
It's no easy fight. No. I think Povetkin, though, he can be hurt. Again, he's coming to the tail end of his career, I'd say. I think Joshua's in his prime, and I see Joshua coming through that and then securing a massive fight with Wilder.
Yeah, all the belts.
Exactly.
Another fight coming up for all the belts. I think a week now. A week tomorrow. Usyk Gassiev, great fight. Which one are you swaying on that one? Another pick-em fight, really. Yeah,
I mean, I prefer Gassiev. I think his style, I like his style a little bit more. I mean, Usyk's a little bit more flamboyant and a little bit more tricky. They're both fantastic to watch, but I like Gassiev. He's strong, he's durable, he slips where he can as well. He's got that ferocious power. You've probably got to lean towards Usyk just boxing it and kind of moving and taking the points victory. But if Gassiev manages to drag him into a dogfight, then it could be Gassiev. So it's going to be an interesting one.
Yeah, and there's talk of whoever wins that sort of moving up to heavyweight. So cause another problem in the division.
Yeah. I don't know if they're big enough though, are they?
Well, Usyk fought in that big Joe Joyce, but you don't know that professional level, you don't know.
I watched the fight with Joyce that he had, and he certainly he boxed and he moved and he won it kind of convincingly. But that being said, I think Joe Joyce was exerting his force and Usyk wasn't really hurting Joyce. So whether he's got the size and the strength and the power to do much at heavyweight,
shot as well.
This is it, It's a lot harder. Exactly. So, be interesting.
Your stablemate Derek Chisora, obviously on your bill. On that bill, you're on against Takam. See, Takam done really well against Joshua. Before that Parker fight, no one really gone distant that long with him. Derek's in a tough fight on this one. Well,
I think again it's it's a make or break fight for Derek. Comes through this well, then there's massive fights for him in the future. But if he's beat by Takam, then obviously where does he go from there? Kind of becomes like almost a high level kind of journeyman guy. But Derek Chisora, he shows elements of brilliance, and he's world class when he puts his mind to it.
Have you seen much of him in the gym lately?
Yeah, I've seen him sparring, training hard. He had Brian Jennings in,
okay.
a very good fighter, and they was having some cracking spars. So Derek's got all the potential in the world, and he's got his head right for this, and he's been training really well. So I've got confidence in him, and I'd like to see him and do a number on Takam and then put himself back in the mix and be in a big fight where he should be.
It's a big night for your trainer Don Charles on 28. Obviously, with you and Derek, sort of started off, you know, on a high, and then it's gone a bit down. Obviously, Derek lost that in Monaco, I think it was, and your defeat to Callum Johnson. But time to sort of look forward and get your careers back on track.
Yeah, of course. I mean, this is it. If you're doing well, you're going to be in hard fights. When you're in hard fights, they can go either way. So that's boxing. So no, we'll be back, and as a team, we'll be back to winning ways July 28th.
Okay, Frank. Thanks for your time today.
Pleasure.
Appreciate it. Is there anything you'd like to add ahead of the 28th?
No, watch out. 28th, I'm going to be showing the improvements and the hard work, and Buglioni's back.
All right, top man, Frank. Thanks for your
Cheers,
time.
thank you.